You go first.
Hey, welcome aboard. It's 2 o'clock somewhere, and this is the big show from Henderson Settlement in Frakes, Kentucky. And we're glad to have y'all on with us today. And we've got a special show now. We've got one thing we have to announce ahead of time. You know the folks on this show. I mean, you see Casey regularly. I mean, she's and Casey's dog is right here too. In fact, this is Ubu.
Poor dog.
Okay, all right. We'll be interviewing Ubu later in terms of the true stories or untold stories of small, fluffy animals in Kentucky.
And the coyotes.
And other scary things. And then we have with us Maggie, who we're going to be talking to in a minute about some great stuff that they were involved in this weekend, who is not here today. And this is a tragedy. We're trying to work it through. Jerry Landon's not here. We think he took off today, but after this video is over, or after this show's over, we're going to post
a video that gives a clue to what may have happened to Jerry. So you want to catch that on Facebook here.
We're worried about Jerry. In fact, we've got a phone here. You can see the phone in case things ring. It may be Jerry calling in, so we may have a remote. Not that Jerry's ever been remote. But anyway, enough about that. Let's get on to the big show. And we're going to start with one of our favorite folks here at Henderson Settlement, and this is Maggie Middleton. I just keep adding names onto her, but she is our director of youth ministries here, and we are just glad she took time. She has to run out in a minute and take care of the after-school youth program, but you were somewhere this weekend, and just tell us what you did and what all went on. And
well, I spent my weekend wrangling in our youth group. We took 16 kids and 4 adults. About half of our group had not attended this trip, and some of them had never attended a youth trip with us. So it was a really special experience for those guys. And I mean, it was something that our kids look forward to every year, Resurrection in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. And we piled all these kids in a 2-bedroom cabin, and we had a blast all weekend and spent time with the Lord, and had some really
we're reconnecting with Maggie right now.
But the speaker shared some things that really our kids could really relate to, and so it gave an opportunity for really honest and open conversations with them, and a lot of questions about salvation in general. A lot of our kids don't attend church regularly, and so it's always a really special experience. But this year was kind of special for a few that we pray for regularly, and that we've been praying really hard for recently, and so that was pretty special. I just woke up today from recovering from the trip, but it was wonderful.
You've been asleep 48 hours. The first thing you do is come here. That's devotion.
No, I'm only joking, but it does take a couple of days to recover from such a good time, and just seeing those smiles and seeing what the Lord can do in such a short amount of time is amazing, and so it was pretty special.
The resurrection's been going on about 30 years or something, right? So
they announced this weekend 33 years, and this is our second year being able to attend, and the kids are already planning next year. They're already ready for next year.
How many folks are there when y'all go? There's something like 8,000, 10,000?
Yeah, well, ish, because there are so many that they have to separate and do 2 different groups, and I think there were about that many in our session, and so or our group, and so it's pretty awesome for our kids to go through from being a part of a youth group that has maybe a couple of dozen to a few dozen on our fullest night, to being in worship and everything with thousands. So wow. It's pretty humbling and pretty amazing for them, and so nothing but a wonderful time.
Awesome. I want to give a shout out too before I forget. We had some folks that helped make this possible, so to Paul Bowman and the Holston Conference Foundation, thank you. Paul's a friend of Henderson Settlement. I don't know if he watches the show. He's cool, but he may not be that cool. So if he's but he'll be watching that after that comment. So, but we appreciate all of y'all who are praying for our youth group to go over. It's a big deal. It's a big trip, and they had a good time. I've gone to the Resurrection a number of years, and I would echo what Maggie says. You don't sleep when you're there.
No.
And then you feel kind of blessed to be able to sleep for about the 36 hours or so after you come back. I mean, it's wears you out, but it's all good. And it didn't snow this year, and y'all didn't have any trouble with traffic, and we didn't lose any wheels off any vans. And we used our new van that we got last year. That worked out pretty well, didn't it?
Amazing. Yes.
Awesome. So a lot of y'all have helped in all sorts of ways to make that possible. We will have pictures of Resurrection up on our Facebook page at some point. We didn't want to overdo it. We want to wait till Maggie woke up before we actually put those here to make sure we screen those. I didn't want her, lose any sleep over it. So it's so anything else you want to? And you're wearing you're wearing the Resurrection shirt.
Right.
So
if you can see that, this is the Resurrection shirt. If you come to Frakes, you'll see lots of kids sporting this shirt.
It's the only, just a note, it's the only thing. We're in Jerry's office right now. This is the only orange thing that's been in here. He's not here today, so when he's watching this, he'll
probably be kicked out.
Yeah, he'd kick us out immediately. But anyway, thank you so much, and thanks for. I know you've got to get over to the youth group, and I want to present you with. We've never done this before. We found a Pierce Chapel Methodist Church mug. They're great supporters of the youth group, so here's your official mug for being on the show today. So, thank you
so very much.
Make sure
that's for all that coffee. She's going to need to stay away for you tonight.
Or herbal tea, either one. So
as long as it has caffeine.
All
right.
Well, thank you.
Thanks, Maggie. We appreciate you.
No problem.
All right. Now let the action begin. So no calls from Jerry yet.
No calls from Jerry. Blue is back here, quite concerned that Jerry hasn't been in and hasn't been seen.
I'm going to take a selfie real quick.
Yeah,
this one's so good. Okay, I just wanted to.
Those make nice, weapons. They're pretty heavy.
That is.
I mean, that weighs more than most.
I actually used to use that. Now, that phone is not for sale unless you make a donation, say $500 to Anderson Settlement. I will bring it to you. But
no part with anything for $500.
Casey and I sat down yesterday and made some serious notes about what we needed to do on the show. I can't find any of those notes right now, but so we appreciate Maggie coming in. But we do have we're right in the middle, and this may be a painful subject of producing the newsletter.
Yes, it's a little painful.
Our copy machine is right now being.
It's behaving better than it did last night. The John Code copier people came in, and hands on it today, and said a few words over it. Add a little grease and a little, tender loving care, and it's getting a little better.
So laying hands on it and using those words were better than the words we were using last night.
Apparently.
Okay.
Apparently, yeah, because the ones I was using last night were not working.
And if you come here this summer for an additional donation, we'll reveal those words to you. But we want to tell you a few of the things that are coming out because the email, the electronic version of the newsletter will be out soon. The rest of y'all will be getting it in in your mailboxes, and one of the things that we will
goes out next week. Yeah, still getting it ready.
Still a lot of words and blessing.
Still trying to get the copier to keep up with
the baseball bats.
No, they took that away from me last night.
We are not have weapons. We're actually the copy machine, and we appreciate our friends John Co. and everybody else about that. But sometimes they're ways to test your faith. And we'll just leave it at that.
He said it's real close to having 1 million copies have run through this machine. Yes, he said that's amazing that it's still running.
And we got the machine in 2013. Are we off air?
It keeps flipping. It's a really.
All right. Well, maybe every other word right now. So actually, this machine.
Going. How are we working out over there?
We may run a second version of the show tomorrow too. We're having tech issues.
And maybe we'll have some on Jerry by then.
We will have some on Jerry, but we'll put the video up. So if your screen is flipping in and out, maybe I should say it like this: we will put the video up tomorrow after we tear up the copy machine.
That's probably the off times is when your words are actually going out.
That's pretty much how my communications has been. Okay.
Thank you for putting up with us.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.